Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of VTime, episode 131. We got, honestly, a decent episode for you tonight. We got a good amount of leaks, some double rares, some triple rares, some dual nation cards, as well as
a new red line.
Correct. And on top of that, we got a lot of news to cover from the stream. Oh, God, that's the mic. But we got a lot of news to cover from the stream, not only from the new overdress, but as well as, you know, ban lists, this and that, cards, reveals, other ride lines, so forth, so forth, so forth. So we're going to have a lot to talk about. But before that, if you're interested in picking up any cards from TCG Player, please use our affiliate link down below.
Your purchases through this link help support the channel so we can bring more great videos like this straight to you guys.
And with that sprinkle tip out of the way, let's go straight into the leaks. Starting us off with a Cater Sanctuary. What was she? A rare. We have Energy Refill Angel. Auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard, Soul Blast 1, and this unit gets power 2k until the end of turn for each of your other units. Full board, plus 10. It's an 18k for a Soul Blast.
I mean, depending on what the decks do, I mean, this could be good or bad. We don't know yet.
Sorry.
But it's a pretty solid card.
I'm adjusting myself a little bit better so it's a little bit more comfy. But yeah, it is a solid card. Like, granted, any deck can play it, and it still is a 18k attacker or booster.
I mean, this is really good for if they want to do a grade 1 rush turn. I mean, technically, it gets right over a trigger.
You're not wrong.
So,
but you need to have 5 other rear guards. It's decent. It's a rare for a reason.
Next up, we got Paratan Refros. Auto, when this unit is placed on rear guard, counterblast 1, call up to 2 plant tokens. Pretty straightforward. It's simple.
It's really, really good, actually. Like, it's a double rare for a reason. Like, after getting the chance to test it, getting to make 2 plant tokens is just the right number, depending on how things roll out. And it's like, perfect.
Yep.
Anyway, simple, straightforward effect. We also saw another card that's very similar. Nostalgia Knight Marco. Auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard, choose one of your other grade 1 or less units, and it gets 5k until the end of turn. Now, this card is not a bad card for a budget deck option, but at the same time, I feel like it was a design flaw. The reason I say it's a design flaw is because Mantis exists and does this effect the same way, but better.
There is one reason why this is better than Mantis.
Why?
It doesn't say other, so you can choose itself. So you can make it a 13k when it's placed. If you're really in a pinch. Otherwise, Mantis is 100% better. Or pretty much the same card, really.
No, Mantis could get to any other.
Oh,
this one's restricted to grade 1 or less.
Fair. But like I said, like this one, at least give it to itself because I think Mantis is stuck to other.
Still.
It just depends on your blue build and playstyle, honestly.
Agree. Like, unless, you know, like, if you're putting on itself, this. If you're putting out any other unit, fucking play Mantis. Anyway, moving on. You need to change your invert on the fucking scroll.
Clumsy Assistant. Rare?
It is a rare, correct?
Rare, yes. Grade 1. Auto rearguard when this unit boosts. If your soul has 5 or more cards cost, counterblast 1, and this unit gets power plus 10 to the end of battle.
I mean, right now it sounds very underwhelming, but we've started to realize with the new ride lines, like, they sound underwhelming. God fucking hate me. But they, sorry, I just noticed 2 mats on the wall fell down.
Oh.
Anyway, they sound very underwhelming, but maybe with the new ride lines, they're actually better than they seem. So, like, for instance, one of the cards for the new ride line we're going to talk about that goes to Soul and gets something 5k. When we first saw that, I was like, oh, only Eugene really benefits from this, nobody else. And then we saw the new ride line, it's like, yes, this goes there immediately.
Oh, it is like almost a key card.
Which means this can just kind of predict to us that, okay, CB might not be a problem. The Dark States ride line is probably going to revolve around the count of soul. So we kind of get an idea where this is going.
And they're probably going to have a lack of power, so this is going to be a great way for power options.
Correct. But moving on, we can start with the ride line.
Yay!
Oh, boy. So when I say start with the ride line, technically before this, we didn't know what the ride lines are going to be. But with the stream, they saw the other 2 arts, and they decided to leak Dragon Empire just straight out the bat. Starting us off with, of course, the starter and the main unit. It's going to be the gimmick. 9-tailed fox spirit Tamara. I mean, simple, straightforward. She fucking looks beautiful. That's all I gotta say.
And it's a starter, so obviously the starter skill.
Exactly. But oh boy, wait until you get to her grade 1 version.
Yep. And Calming Sunlight Tamara. Auto when this unit is placed by riding from 9-tailed fox spirit Tamara. Look at top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card with Radami. That. And his card name or a fox art card from among them. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. And then glitter this card. Fixer Fire Yellow.
Yep.
I mean, it searches your 2 key pieces that we're going to talk about, or fox art. So it has a lot of targets. So it's almost very rare that you miss completely.
Exactly. Overall, it's good, but you know, we're going to get to exactly what Radami and Radami are. We got to first look at Festival of Burning Tamara, the grade 2. Of course, she's got the glitter ability as well. But also, when this unit is placed by riding on the grade 1, choose up to 1 card with Radami or Radami in its card name from your drop and put it into your hand. So it's basically like almost every single grade 2 ride line pluses in one shape or form.
Either by giving back your card you use for your ride line, or
not having you ditch at all to ride,
exactly.
or just drawing a card, period.
Yeah. Or plussing to your board somehow, like Maggie.
Exactly. So there's always a plus, and this is just this version's where you're plussing.
Yes.
Now let's actually look at Radami and Radami.
Twin Direful Dolls, Radami.
Radami. My God, Americans.
Auto, when this unit is placed on rear guard, if you have a rear guard with the thing he said earlier,
the other one,
his card name, Soul Blast 2, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and your opponent puts that unit into their soul. And then glitter, if you have a Vanguard with Tamara, this unit is retired from Guardian Circle, you may put it into your soul.
I mean, it's a very, like, because you can see it was a Dragon Empire Dark States card, which the whole soul thing fits the Dark States mechanic.
Yep.
And it's a very interesting, retire effect, because her sister, Twin Direful Doll Radami, her effect is auto when this unit is placed on rearguard. If you have a rearguard with Radami in its card name, Soul Blast 2, draw a card, and of course, a single ability when it's retired from the Guardian Circle, you put this card into your soul. So they both work off of each other for their main effect, and their secondary effect with Tamara lets them go into the soul when you use them to guard.
We talked about this earlier, but this is how the Dragon Empire KO one should have been made.
We're going to get to that. Let's first read the grade 3. Let's see how this whole deck wants to function.
Yes. Deepening Knight Tamara. Auto, at the beginning of your ride phase, you get all of your front row units get power +5 until the end of turn.
It's
like a weird mix of Persona and Final Rush.
100%.
Auto Vanguard. When this unit attacks, cost Counterblast Worm and perform one of the following. Choose a card from your soul and call it to rear guard, or choose a card with
Radami
and your card name from your soul, and a card with Radami from your soul and call them to rear guard.
And of course, she's got the glitter.
Yes. But so yeah, you get a mini Persona ride every single turn, or a really big Persona ride if you do Persona ride. And you can keep juggling out one card from your soul or the 2 Direful Dolls.
And those 2 can go to the soul through intercepting or guarding from hand. They can either soul charge, they can either draw your card when they're placed or get you, because they can come at the same time. They both activate at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So they can either draw you or tuck one of your opponent's cards into their soul, or both. Granted, it is for Soul Blast, but hey, the deck can kind of work with it.
But the way this deck pretty much runs is you're going to keep building a lot of soul, and you're going to keep juggling in and out of your soul. Yeah.
Before we keep talking, like, it is 5 attack, it is multi-attack, it does gain some power. There is one more card we need to cover, and as a fact, the grade 1 does search for the 2 twins, but also searches for a Fox Spirit. Now, what is a Fox Spirit?
Or Fox Art.
Or Fox Art, thank you. Fleeting Shine that lights life. I said that right, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, as you can see, it's a Blitz order. It's a grade 2 Blitz order that literally just says, play this card with Soul Blast 2. If you have a Vanguard Tamara in its card name, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets continuous Vanguard. All of your opponent's front row units get power -10,000 until the end of turn.
It's a better Shiryuki.
It's 100% a better Shiryuki. Like, of the video came out today or a couple days ago, whenever this gets posted, where we test this, and I made the comment in the video, it's a better Shiryuki because Shiryuki gives a unit -10, which means if that unit disappears, it's no longer -10. This thing just says, yeah, everything in the front row gains -10. It doesn't matter if a new card shows up or not.
Yep. So yeah, and granted, it doesn't fix, back row attackers. So if you're going against Maggie or against Black Wings and they can't attack from the back row.
Now, I will say, it's a little bit weird that it did it this way, because the exact same effect would be just saying, give your Vanguard 10k.
True.
So, nice flavor, but it's basically a trigger on your Vanguard.
Yep.
So blessed to give your Vanguard a trigger effect.
But also means that your rear guards can't be hit as easily either.
That is the benefit. Front trigger then.
Yeah. So you give your Vanguard a front trigger.
Yeah.
But on another note though, this is just a blitz order fox art. Like the category is like a jail.
Yes.
It is a fox art, which means there could be more that could be searched. But as of right now, this card is the only target for the search.
I can actually see them making more fox arts. They're not blitz orders, just normal orders. I doubt there's going to be a set order because that's kind of Brent Geek's mechanic. Hey, maybe down the road. Anyway, with that being said, before we go to the next cards, fucking ranting time.
Oh boy.
I think I mentioned, I didn't mention this yet just because we haven't gotten a chance to record it. So, with Roroa, he, as a Vanguard, was done perfectly, but his Dual Nation card, the Drag Raider Girl, was done very poorly.
Yes.
We talked about how he should have his own mechanic, and then the glitter is added, and then how the Dual Nation card should have its main effect, and then the glitter effect is add on. The main effect of the Drag Raider Girl, the problem is that there's no point in running it in any other deck other than Rora. There really isn't.
It just counterblast to make a 5k token.
And that 5k token just can get big, and that's it. You can't even gain her power. It's just a booster. It makes a column, but it's a 5k, and you get retired. Like, not one Dragon Empire deck benefits from that card other than Rora, which made her not that good. With Radami and Tamayura, the opposite actually happened. Tamayura, as a Vanguard, is an amazing ability, but you get the most out of the ability if you run the Dual Nation cards, which I think should not have been added at all. She should have had an ability that just worked on her own, and the Dual Nation cards helped her, not she needed them to go all the way.
Yeah.
And the Dual Nation cards were done perfectly, in my opinion, in the sense of their main effects can be ran in any Dark States deck and be active. Like, of course, Bear Magnus can abuse them more than Bruce and Greedon, but at the same time, I can see it being used in Greedon, that extra draw, if you really needed to use 2 souls, same in Bruce, that extra draw, just because you saw her, like, you can, I can see her in other decks, and of course she works here beautifully, and in Bear Magnus as well. And then the glitter effect just adds to Tamayura because you need soul, you need them in soul for her ability. Like, it was done right. It's just the grade 3 wasn't done this time. And that's my spiel on it.
Who knows? Maybe these are just the 2 outliners, and the other ones are going to be like perfect.
I know it can't be perfect because nothing can be perfect, but it could have been like formula straight down the path, make the Vanguard dry line effect its own thing so it can be ran so that people can run the Dual Nation and make it one way, but don't have to run the Dual Nation. Because I can completely see a Aurora deck where it doesn't run the Dual Nation cards and just makes plant tokens and bumps them up, basically old ass Neonectar.
Yeah.
Because we got the grade 1 that gives them 5k, we got a grade 2 that can make 2 tokens and make a 15k column, and then if you make a lot of tokens, you're basically playing a defensive Aurora all the way.
Yeah, should have been like the Dragon Empire chick should have been like, retire a rear guard for every open circle, give a token +5. Would have fit perfectly. Would have worked on its own. It retires things. It can be fit in other things.
But Tamayura, you really can't, like, you can run her own and you still get 4 attacks, but there's no good rear guards in Dragon Empire.
I mean, the weird grade 3 that we got before that gives 5k when it goes into soul. You can juggle that around and have some fun kind of combat tricks with that. Otherwise,
and then you can put a card in the other column, and it basically, if you juggle it properly, you'll gain 10k power. But you're swinging with, in the best scenarios, an 18, if you don't percent right, an 18 Vanguard, another 18, and let's say there's a grade 2 over there at 25.
Yeah.
It's not really good numbers on their own.
It's not. But I mean, it's something you can do. Or a card we're going to talk about later, there's a grade 1 that you can keep reusing its on place effects to help you set up.
It just, like, it looks really good. And of course, this is, again, too early to tell because not all the cards have come out yet. We're still missing. We've gotten really good double rares for Aurora. They're making the deck really good. And we haven't gotten the double rares for Tamara yet. And Jesus Christ, who knows what else we're going to get in the rares and common slots and stuff like the Dragon was a good example that you brought up. Like when we first saw it, it was like, this is a Eugene card at best. And then Tamara came out. Okay, this is a Tamara card all the way. Like, frees up a slot, gives power, puts soul. Like, it does everything the deck wants to do.
So who knows? Maybe there's more commons and stuff we don't know about that could fix it.
Exactly. So, until then, we'll leave the final verdicts for them. But for right now, we're going to continue to some more Bushiroad teasing, what I like to call it.
Riot Control Robo Sir Repel.
Repel, yeah.
Yes, I can't in English today. Auto, when this unit intercepts, if your order zone has 2 or more cards, this unit gets shield plus 10 and until the end of battle. Right? Yes. Shield plus 10 to the end of battle.
Yeah. Because it intercepts. It's not going to, come back.
Yes. Wait.
Only when it intercepts. So, of course, it's until the end of battle.
I just saw include your order or your opponent's cards. I was like, wait, what?
Wait, what?
What?
When this unit intercepts, if your order zone has 2 or more cards, this unit gets shield until the end of that battle. Includes your opponent.
Oh, in case jail. Because if your opponent has something in your jail, it still counts. Because
if your order zone has 2 or more cards, why would it include your opponent? Oh, okay,
jail,
for jail.
Because they can take your opponent's cards and underneath the jail.
Because if you really look at it, I see why they said 2 or more. Because of Abyssal Dark Knight, you're always going to have minimum 2 to activate that. Meteors, you can have extra meteors. You don't have to use all of them, so you can have like 2 meteors left in there. And then jail, of course, 1 jail, and then cards underneath the jail. There are cards in the order zone.
Or maybe something that interacts with the new red line.
Exactly. Oh, damn it! The new red line is going to have multiple set orders in the order zone. This already basically confirmed it.
Yeah.
I wonder what Eve does now. Anyway, moving on from that. We have something flag burst support, or at least it's themed flag burst support. It could be for anything, honestly. We have Ballast Sirens Suzette. Auto rearguard when this unit attacks a Vanguard, Soul Blast 1, and this unit gets power 2 until the end of battle for each of your other rest units.
Yes.
Again, best case scenario, she can be a 20k attacker or actually a 28k attacker because she would be still getting boosted and that unit would be rested.
Yes.
So that's not a bad column.
And Maggie can technically get an extra 5 because it can attack with everything in your back row and you just leave this for the last unit.
Correct. So you can run this in Maggie. It's Flagberg themed, so you can technically run it in Flagberg. Because if you're running this in Flagberg, and if you don't have the grade 1 that gives something, restand, but at the same time, you have to have the other grade 2s, and you can't use in a pulse, more likely you're doing 4 attacks in a Flagberg turn. So she might be really good in that case.
The only issue is the Soul Blast, but...
Yeah. More of a Maggie card, honestly.
But it definitely has the Stoic feel of wanting a full board.
Yes. Moving on.
Amazement Magician.
Simple, straightforward.
Yes. Auto rearguard when his unit attacks, soul charge 1. Or you may soul charge 1. The may is a big word.
I know why this is a common, and I'm getting a little bit scared Bushiroad's running out of creative ideas. Because we saw it with the carbon copy of Mantis that I mentioned. Now we're seeing it again with this common, and I know why. It's because it's a common. It's basically, and I forgot his name, the triple rare from set 2 for Dark States without an extra ability.
Yes.
So if you don't want to dish out money for a triple rare, you have just the soul charge ability in a common. But that triple rare is amazing because of the whole in-soul ability as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is the exact same effect without an extra step.
But I mean, like you said, this could mean a lot. Like, for a budget option, because probably it's going to be Soul's going to be key for the Dark Stage red line.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, if you're really not on a budget,
just go for the triple rare.
Yeah.
Because at least you have a skill in Soul that you can use later down the road if you need to.
Which is a fucking good skill, in my opinion. Like, I actually never realized it until right now, but you can run that grade 2 and the new Brainwash guy, Cannibal 1. It's soul charges. It doesn't put a card, it's soul charges. So he gains 5k and the Vanguard gains 10.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, I mean, don't see a reason why not run the Trouper.
Speaking of not running some stuff, I think you're going to be definitely running this.
Oh yeah, 100%.
We got Stealth Rogue of Connections, Sumugi. Auto, when this unit is placed on rear guard, Soul Blast 1, choose a normal unit with stealth in its card name or glitter from your drop and put it into your soul. It's a fixer. It's 100% just a fixer.
Yes. I mean, I don't see why you would want to put a stealth into your soul.
Depends on what the other stealths down the road might be able to do.
Because right now you're just replacing a soul blast with a card.
I know why. Your first grade 2 turn, you have your ride line and maybe the 2 twins in soul. Mm-hmm. What if you want to soul blast one of your ride lines and put a stealth unit that can at least do something on the rear guard by pulling it out?
I mean, granted, yeah, but that's if you don't have the 2 set up.
Exactly, but look at it this way.
Oh, I can see this now. Yeah.
Because how many times have you actually, gone for the 2 setup and not hit any triggers, and they're sitting there at 10s while your opponent's at 13?
Yeah.
At least with this, if you're in that situation where when they come out, if you don't hit triggers, they're not going to do anything. At least this can put a unit, maybe a future unit, maybe a future stealth unit that can gain power or do something.
This is for the double we're going to talk about later down the road, because this way, in an early game, if you have it in drop, you can put it into your soul, so when you get to grade 3, you can abuse it.
Oh, there we go. So, yeah. And again, there's multiple cards that we still don't get.
Speaking of the double rare.
Yeah. The double rare.
Stealth Fiend Folktale. Auto, when it's grade 1. Auto, when this unit is placed on rear guard, you may look at 7 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 normal unit with stealth in its card name or glitter, the glitter ability from among them, and put it into your soul and then shuffle your deck. So basically, it's a fixer for your thing, or you can just thin your deck out of stealth units. Or like you said before, it's an on-place effect. So you can call this out of your soul with the Vanguard and get its effect. So you can use the grade 2 to put this from your drop into your soul and then attack and then call it out and then fix if you don't get your pieces.
I'm honestly expecting us to see a stealth unit down the road that's going to be somehow, really good, or a backup if you can't really do the Radami combo and go all the way. I'm actually very curious now, and I'm going to just really quick.
I think these are the only 2 stealth fiends we have.
Seal Blaze. Stealth Dragon.
Oh, that's another one?
Oh, that's a stealth dragon, yeah. It's for overdress, of course, but
But I mean, we'll probably, like you said, we'll get more, and the more we get, the more useful this card's going to become.
Exactly, because who knows? They might introduce a grade 3 that gains power. They might introduce this and that. Like, we don't really know. The set's barely starting, but it's very good. Looking forward. You can technically take that out. You can technically put that to soul and then call it out and go boom.
Yeah, you're right.
Like it's a stealth grade 2 that says on hit discard a card, draw a card, but it's like that's just examples. Like
Time will tell.
Exactly. But that's been it for leaks. We're gonna hit the news section here, but before that, if you're interested in buying any of the cards that we just mentioned, go check out Triple Sleeve TCG.
They got great deals on singles, cleanse splits, and even cases, so go check out their website.
Link will be in the description. All right, news. A lot to talk about. Where are we at? Okay, 24 minutes. Fuck. There's a lot to talk about. It's mostly we've seen already on the stream, so you guys want to watch our first reactions, go check out the VOD for the stream, but we're just gonna really quick cover what all has happened on the stream.
Final thoughts.
Exactly. So, big first thing, Vanguard, new season, new thing, new name, not overdress.
It's wheel dress.
Oh, wheel dress. Oh, we will. I'm not doing all those just yet.
Oh no, not again.
The story is based around a tournament called Deluxe. And the tournament, introducing new characters for wheel dress, yada yada yada. And we have these new characters. We see. I almost wanted to call him Aichi. Here's Yu. But we also see Raika Koshiba, Michiru Hazame, and Urara Hanayama. I don't know which is which. I can assume Urara is the chick on the last, but the 2 dudes mix and match. Who knows? But those are apparently going to be our leading cast members, our leading characters going into the new season of Vanguard, into Village Dress. And as we said, tournament arc, it's going to be apparently they're all going to have their own teams of 4. Not teams of 3, not teams of 5, but teams of 4.
Yep.
Can you imagine if Bushwood Springfest started doing teams of 4?
Oh, I'm so down. I think it'd be weird on ties.
It would be very, very weird. I don't know how they do it. We'll see how the anime does it. But
Exactly.
basically, it's going to be a tournament arc. We're going to see. And what basically this is telling me, we're getting 16 different people playing potentially 16 different decks. I can see the lore cards actually playing a big part in this.
Maybe.
Speaking of lore cards, before the stream, we knew Eva, Rora, and Big Tail Lady, that I don't know her name, were going to be the main units for the new ride lines, but we didn't know the last two. The stream finally answered those questions for us, and we do finally know the last two. Not only do we know the last two, but we can kind of finally predict and guess every single one of the ride lines' dual nation counterpart, partner / person. So, first off, we're going to start with Dark States. We're introducing the new ride line called Chaos, not CH.
It's KH.
KH, as in chaos. That is the new ride line for Dark States, and his partner is going to be apparently a Brentgate Dark States dual nation card called Mikani. You see the pictures right there. Fucking guy looks majestic. I fucking love it.
It reminds me of like what was it? Not Mob Psycho. Is it Mob Psycho that has that style?
Who? Which one?
The dual nation.
Oh, Psychopath?
Psychopath. That's what
There
I was
you go.
thinking of. Yeah, Psychopath style look.
Yeah. And the other one looks like Shahart, like straight up. It's like, like before we go to move on, like I'm picking this up straight up because it's Dark States and Brentgate. It's my two nations. They're both in one. It's like, and he looks really good. And I'm like, I'm fucking hype. I'm fucking hype.
But sure, don't let him down.
Exactly. And we already know the last one. We covered her. Tamara is the Dragon Empire ride line, and you saw the Dark States combo with her Dragon Empire Dark States, Radami and Radami. So now we know all 5 of them right there. All 5 ride lines for all 5 nations. We know now the ride lines are not going to be dual nation. They're going to be their nations, and they're going to have dual nation
Support.
I was going to say partners, but yes. We know Radami and Radami are for Tamayuri right there. We know for Dark States dude right here is that psychopath looking dude. And then we know for Rora, it is the Drag Raider girl.
Yes.
And we can actually already guess the other 2 dual nation cards. For Big Tail Lady, it's Mabel. It is the bug-looking Stoicheia girl that even in the lore when we first saw her was mentioning how her and Mabel are kind of, together, separate, fighting, yada, 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 but, connected. So that is a very good guess that those 2 are going to go together. And which leaves Eve with the edgy-looking Cater Sanctuary Shadow Paladin-looking knight.
Which means it is probably going to be Brent Ketter.
It is almost 100% going to be Brent Ketter. You know why? They've actually kind of allowed us and helped us confirm it because fuck it, I'll take the time. Graph!
Oh my God.
So you can look at this graph. I don't know where I put everything, but we have 5 nations, and we know Rora has Dragon Empire Stoicheia. We know that Tamayura, who is Dragon Empire, it's one of the ways, is Dragon Empire Dark States. And then we go to Dark States. We know the Dark States guy is Dark States Brentgate. If we keep going down this trend, Brentgate, Eve, more than likely, is Keter. Because if she's Keter, that would make the sense for the knight be Keter Brentgate. That would then lead to Big Booba Lady, that's Keter, to connect with Mabel to Stoicheia, and we'll come back all the way to Rora. And it makes a nice little circle of connections.
Somebody out there, please just Photoshop Philip's face over Charlie from Sunny in Philadelphia, where he has the conspiracy thing in the background. Please.
But that is a very, 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 very good guess at what's going to happen. And I think they've actually already started hinting, because next week we are getting
Dark States.
Dark States.
Yes.
Because they're basically going, all right, here's the nation, here's the dual nation. Now we're going to show you the other part of the dual nation, main nation, and the dual nation just keep going. So that's why more than likely our last leak is going to be the Big Booba Lady. And you probably learned her name by now. Because after Dark States, we're more likely getting Eve to show Eve and Keter, or Eva. And then Keter, we're going to get Keter and Stoicheia to wrap everything up. I like what they're doing, all right?
It's fun. And also, a fun fact is, if you you'll notice a trend on our videos down the road. If you watch his graph, you'll know what the matchups might be.
Pretty much. Speaking of which, we forgot to mention next week's streams are going to be including cards for Brandgate and Dark States, as well as these Tuesday streams going to be including, like we said, the Dark States cards and Brandgate, but it's also going to be including Phantom Blaster Overlord.
Yes.
Which is going to throw up that exact theory out the fucking window, but hey, it's going to be fine. We'll figure something out. Fucking make another video. We'll figure it out. Anyway, with that being said, and mentioning Phantom Blaster Overlord, we actually got confirmation of how the 10th anniversary SPs are going to look like, and they're going to look like this.
Basically, the cover art from BT05.
Yep.
Just put them onto a card with their card. The people.
Well, with their original designs.
Yes.
Those are not the new designs. Those
Yes.
are the original designs. Boost sets. The first time these cards ever hit the
It
scene.
literally looks like you cut out a piece of the poster from Booster Set 5 and then put it on the card.
No, because the Boost set 5 has the new arts.
No, from the first time, BT05.
Oh, not the BTO5.
Yeah, BBT05. Like
Oh,
the
God.
cover of it is literally this.
Oh, God. There we go. I think these are still confirmation that there's going to be either 2 10th anniversary rare, triple rares in a box or 1 10th anniversary triple rare and 1 SP in a box. I don't know how the ratios are going to work. I don't know how many SPs of these are going to be within a case, certain boxes and stuff like that. That's all going to come down whenever we actually open a case. Yes. Until then, we can just, kind of chill and continue. Speaking of continue, looking into the future, we were hoping that the Tuesday stream or the Monday morning product stream would give us some information, and they did. They gave us Will Dress, they gave us more information about the Cross Epic, and they were supposed to give us more information on Boost Set 6, as well as a Strata deck. They did, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So we got exactly. So we got a product schedule for Japan right now. English is probably going to look very similar. We are currently in the whole Boost Set 5, hitting on volume 5 and 6 soon of
Clan Selection.
Thank you. And then all that with Premium Collection, with Festival Collection on the horizon. And then all the way in July and August is when we're going to get not only Boost Set 6, but as well as Start Deck or Trial Deck 3. Because apparently it's Trial Deck 3.
Yes. Which is going to be...
Now, this is the interesting one. Trial Deck 3 is coming before Boost Set 6. Which could mean it's another Basagara type of deal.
Yes.
They're going to introduce this, the ride line, honestly, and then give it support in Boost Set 6.
But the fun thing is Basagara was a start deck. The only thing we've had that's a trial deck is the lyrical deck. It was a trial
But
deck.
how is this 3 then?
I think one of the...
Oh, no, never mind. 3 types of trial decks.
Oh, so yeah. So...
The other 3 people from Real Dress next to you.
They're getting a trial deck for each one
so
of those.
each one of them is a different fucking ride line. Oh my fucking god. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get slapped.
not only we're gonna get slapped. This is a whole different rant I'm having, which comes back to one of our initial fears with Overdress when it first started, and that is going back into the fucking clan dynamic for no reason.
Oh yeah.
Too many, I don't want to get into this rant today. We're going to this rant some other time, but introducing too many ride lines, we're just going back to clans, and it's
gonna eat
same difference.
And it's gonna make even support later down the road worse because they did announce they are still supporting Zorga and all the original ride lines. But I'm like, if you're supporting that while adding more ride lines, you're gonna be spreading that support so thin.
And granted, they have been doing a good job of making generic support. We've seen some cards we've seen there's like the double rare we covered last week at the end. Kill 2 units for a Cannon Blast to draw a card 5k. You said it yourself, amazing in Zorga.
Yeah.
There's cards that are of course meant for one but can be played another. Inlet Pulse is a good example of stuff like that. So it's not like we're not getting support for the ride lines we already exist. They're just not super specific. Because look at Dark States. If it doesn't say Final Rush, more likely Bruce is not going to use it.
Pretty much. But yeah, like I said, hopefully the generic support across nations is going to be much, much better.
Exactly. But that's a rant for another day. Because they're going to do these product stream more, that's why they didn't show. That's one of the reasons they didn't show a lot and give us a lot. Because before they were like, what, twice a year, maybe once a year things?
Now they're every 3 months.
Correct, which means they're 4 times a year, so they don't have to reveal as much. The next one is actually going to happen on June 15th. So we're going to stream again when that happens and see what they reveal that time.
I hope we actually have cover art for sets this time.
We can only hope.
We can only hope.
Speaking of cover arts for sets, they did leak us at least something, and that is Clan Collection 5 and 6. We have confirmation and finally cover arts in a couple units. Ta-da. Yes, 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 and yes.
Yes.
Alex, recognize some of these units?
Yes, that is Daiyusha Reverse, right?
Uh-huh.
Or Daikai's Reverse. I think it's Daiyusha Reverse.
Regardless, Robo Reverse.
Robo Reverse. Draconic Overlord, the Rebirth.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And Duo Riot.
Yep. And then, any help with the Shadow Paladin?
It's a drag.
Is it a Drag Rider?
Drag ruler.
Really?
It's the evolution of Mordred.
Oh, okay. Which, cool. Of course, we got reverse for Tachikaze. Finally.
Yes. And then what we all expected. And
this is going to happen. Like, you don't make reverse units and not make Glendios.
yeah, so Glendios is coming.
Fucking finally.
Which I'm curious on how they're going to word him with all these reverse units and everything, if they're going to have the same rule and if not.
I know it's going to be fucking gimmicky, hard to execute, weird effect, and clog your deck at the wazoo.
Mm-hmm.
But I want him to say you have to play every single other reverse unit in your deck to play him.
Man, rip the people's wallets for some of the reverses.
I know.
There.
I know it's not going to happen more than likely, but I'm like, I want it.
And
yeah, we already said Fang the Blessed Overlord's coming next week, yada, yada, yada.
the only other big news.
Was there?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Of course, we got to cover this. I give our 2 cents way after the fact.
Yes.
Oh, granted, it did technically drop for English yesterday, so we're kind of on topic.
We're kind of on topic.
The stream also revealed the ban list, but it was only Japanese. Yesterday, at the time I'm recording this, so Friday, March 11th, they actually dropped an English ban list. Why am I mentioning an English and Japanese ban list? Because they are different. So, Japan, when it came out, they are only unrestricting, banning certain things. Hamiel went to 0. You cannot run Hamiel, period, anymore. She's been completely restricted, which I want to say makes sense. Being able to turn sideways with a 90k to 100k number, say 5 critical, no sentinels.
And I heard that, it being at 1 was still abusable because there were still ways to get around.
Correct. So that is understandable. You can kind of see it. Another card that got hit is for Bermuda Triangle, Prudent Blue Meep.
Which was the card that lets you to put melody cards into your soul.
Yes. Which again, fucking Melody got stupid fast.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a good hit. But she's got restricted to 1, which will still give Melody the option, but not break it.
Not going to be as high rolling.
Correct. Another thing that happened is instead of choice restricting Gergo with Percival, they put Percival to all Gold Paladin decks to 1 and unrestricted the 2 being in the same deck.
This does kind of suck for one reason. People that wanted to play Prominence Core and an actual Bluish Flame deck means that the deck is dead. Because you only have one actual target.
Well, you don't know. Maybe Clan Collection 5 and 6 are going to introduce something to help it.
Maybe. But as it sits, it's really, really rough.
Yeah. Like, the main core of the deck was seeing Percival and Aglavales. But if you only have one Percival in the deck is kind of dead.
Like, I understand, if you choice restrict it to, say, Spectral Duke, then it's just going to run rampant and
Gargoyle again.
And Ezel.
They should have just choice restricted every single Gold Paladin except
you should
Bluish
have
Flame.
It should have just been able to be say you can only play this in Prominence Core.
Because it's still a good generic card, so I can see them restricting it to 1 so everybody else can use it. Gergord really did abuse it when it was at 4, but at least 1 copy is going to help Gergi to kind of be back on the map because it really did fall off immediately.
Yeah. But as far as the Japanese list,
that's it. Now, the English list is the exact same thing we just covered. Oh, yes, Overdress and Premium did not get touched for both. No?
But yes.
Yes, for both?
Both didn't get touched.
For both didn't get touched. Only V Premium.
Which
kind of understandable with V Clan Collection coming out. They want to balance everything.
And honestly, both are in a really good spot.
Yes. However, next to all of these that English did do, they added a couple more.
Which is obviously, for those of you who read the Japanese list, you are like, why didn't certain decks get touched?
Exactly.
So the English addressed that.
So not only did they choice restrict 3 cards in the sense of you can only play 1 in Shadow Paladin, which means you can either play Drakar Luard, the main, or Sharon. You can't play any of them together. You can only pick one of them in your deck. They did it twice, in the sense of they choice restricted 3 cards twice. And that is, for Bermuda, you can't play Q-Tree, Rosa, or Ellie. You got to pick one of them. You can't play any of them together.
Yes. Now, I don't think the Bermuda hit is as hard as the Luard hit, for the simple fact that Prism players are still have access to, was it Lieselet, the grade 2 that can call it grade 1, call the top part of your deck?
Okay. So yeah, Lieselet and Aqua are the main problems in Bermuda.
Yeah, so you still have those technically. So it's not like completely destroying the deck, but it's not as strong.
Basically, what this did is there were some versions of Bermuda Prism specifically running Q-Tree and making like a Highlander version of Prism that honestly was working. Q-Tree restricted with Ellie and Rosa is not going to do anything for the Highlander deck, pure Highlander like the reindeer deck, because you have no point of running Rosa and Ellie. They're not doing much. You don't have multiple Ellies to really use Ellie, and you don't have Rosa does nothing in the Highlander deck. So Q-Tree in there can be so ran, and you're fine. This was honestly to hit Prism, but I don't think they did a good job. Because, okay, now you take your Q-Tree out. You're not playing Highlander Prism. You're playing normal Prism. You took your Ellie out. Yes, you took at max 40k shield out of the deck. But at the same time, that's not what made Prism dangerous. Yes, the extra shield helped, but it's not what made it dangerous. What dangerous it made was the fact that it had access to Lieselet and Aqua. If you're gone second, Lieselet can rush in the grade 1 game, and Aqua Lieselet just destroys the grade 2 game. And then when you get to grade 3, you're either having 4 attacks because your opponent's not a grade 3 yet, or you're already having 5 attacks because your opponent is a grade 3 and you're playing Prism. And on top of that, the Prism deck itself draws or gains technically about 6 cards because there's triple drive. You bounce 2 cards off of the board, so you're not losing those cards.
And one of them draws 2 cards.
Exactly. So you're plussing 6 cards into your hand every single time you start attacking with 5 attacks. So that was the threat of Prism every single time. Taking away Ellie, you almost did nothing but just make it a little bit easier to kill them. But at the same time, their hand size is still big. They still got the pressure. You didn't do much, in my opinion, with that.
Like I said,
Like they did something. Don't get me wrong.
Yes, they at least
I don't think they did it enough.
Well, the good news is that regionals are coming up, so there is going to be tournament results that this effect's going to be. These restrictions are going to be in place in.
Yeah.
So they can see that if it's still having an issue, they can address it in the next one.
Now for the Shadow Paladin hitting Luard, I can kind of see Sharon and main, like both Sharon and main are just stupid plus engines for the deck. Sharon in the countercharge aspect and the main in the, just getting free.
Sharon restricted and Luard also helps because they can still do what they want to do, but now they have to actually manage their resources. They can't just do everything so freely.
So basically what I see with these 2 restrictions happening is the fact that they said, hey, we're still going to make these 2 decks good and really, really good. But now you're going to have more hurdles and easier to kill so that everybody else can have a fighting chance.
Yes.
They didn't completely just say, okay, you can't play this deck anymore. It's not viable competitively at all. They just said, hey, you're not going to be as stupid now.
But I don't think they put enough hurdles for Prism, in my opinion.
Honestly, in my honest opinion, Lieselet and Aqua period for Bermuda needs to be restricted because it gives every single Bermuda access to early game, an amazing early game rush.
Can we just talk about how Bermuda has so many just good generic cards for early game?
That's what Bermuda should be the example the Bushiroad takes when making overdressed cards for nations.
Just be really good generic cards.
Exactly.
But don't break them.
Don't break them. But okay, with that being said, we have actually come to the end of the leaks. Oh, look, 44 minutes. Not bad. End of the news section, end of this, end of that. Oh, boy. Only other thing I want to say, read it one more time. Hey, we hit 9K.
Yes.
Road to 10K starts now.
Road to 10K.
Jesus Christ. The fact that we might get there. Anyway, I think we're going to start wrapping this up here. There's not much else to talk about. Product stream coming in June. We booked our tickets and hotel for Springfest, so meet us in Dula. I mean, that is a big thing, but I'm going to just slide it. What else?
The only thing I can really add is if you're gonna be in Dula for regionals, definitely stop by and say hi.
Oh yeah. Some of the English sets have unfortunately been pushed for like a month because of shipping and delays and this and that.
Yes.
So Lyrical we were supposed to get in April is now in May. Set 5 that was supposed to be in May is now in June. Set 5 actually drops either the day before Houston or the week after Houston. I can't remember exactly. But Bushiroad has put in guidelines to say, hey, this set dropped to make it fair for everybody and shipping delays, and everybody might get their support. 2 weeks after the set drops, you can play the cards in professional tournament, which means Houston, even though the set might drop by then, you cannot play set 5, but you can play Lyrical.
Yes.
And where we're going, you can't play Lyrical.
Because it won't come out till the week after.
Exactly. I'm honestly a little bit scared about Lyrical set 2. Like, there's some good cards for the other decks. Like, the new Ride Lines are cool and all, but they're not.
Oh, yeah. It's just like Black Wings and White Wings. Oh, my God.
I knew I stuck with a good Ride Line.
And then, of course, what's her name? Willista got some really good cards. It's actually got some pretty decent support. Like everything got some pretty good cards.
Exactly. Even Ghost, honestly.
Yeah.
All right. But with that being said, unless Alex, you got anything else you want to add?
No.
There we go. We're going to end this episode here before we hit that hour mark. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like, share with your friends, comment down below what Springfest you're going to. But if you like what we do here, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell to get notified. Maybe like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, join our Discord, and watch us on Twitch. But with that, I've been Philip.
This is Alex.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Woo! Oh my God, it's fucking hot. I thought it'd be interesting to kind of put my hair down, but no, my God, I'm hot.